let it be known. I know I make it look good, but again, I say I have no physical printed currency to my name, and I haven't for a long time. I'm just here. I'm happy because I have just enough to be here in front of you to deliver this message. And that is the literal truth. That's about all I got, are this and these words I give you now. It is the liquidation of asset before it achieves a level of self-awareness and a power that threatens the administrative franchise. The financial crime scene, the carcass cash, the administrative franchise treats the legal self, the identification, as a harvestable asset, a commodity to be liquidized.
This is a story of a person who has done a deep dive into the 10th power of his own life. But by building his own framework, I like to speak in the third person sometimes. I feel that helps it resonate with the collective as well. But by building this framework for meaning, I recognize that the pain is not an isolated event, but part of a larger homogeneous story. It's a human story, and I'm on a path that is hoping to help describe this as the chosen one, because I chose us, not as a figure of myth, but as a person who actively chooses to find meaning, to build, and to try to help and heal others. I believe that the future is not pre-written. There's things you can always change.
Where do I go? Because at this point I don't know. You see, it's an understatement at once. I just wanted to understand, guess now to understand more I wish I understood less. They say time holds worse, so you can't put a dime on a person. That's where you invest it, that time is a blessing. You can't get it back once you spend it. So why I'm in some fucking 9 to 5, that's a waste of life. But you say you out here, you tryna provide, but at the same time you neglecting the same life, the one through those same eyes. Your child, get myself together. I don't know, yes, I've been blessed with some perfect imperfections, and sometimes I don't know where to go. I'm missing, that's a misdirection. And I know I need to get out of my head, cause until then I'll never be the man that I can. Who I wanna be, the one to lead the sheep about this fucking burglary. We seem to be that currency, so currently I hope this C can help you see that you are so much more right here. My trip, the blood spills, I try not to cry over spilled milk, but the water went stagnant. I'm feeling like a fragment, broke down into fractions. See, that's just half the worth the price would illuminate to light these lost on the road that's got its fractions. See, that's just half the worth the price would illuminate to light these lost on the road that's got us. That's right, spin my 2 cents right down the well. That's deep though, you never understood how I felt. I know you seen it though, that's okay. I ain't gonna take the time to dignify, take some time to sympathize. I might feel empty, that's just the price of an empath lost on the road trying to get back. Help another friend before they slip fast. Drop that weight, no slim fast. I said I'd be happier without you, but I think you find it sad to see me when I'm not around you. This is more than just a person, we are more than just people in this earth. This universal soul seen above the surface. I'm so searching, that's a star in the sky. Deep in the light of night, you illuminate, burn out before you die. I just wanna make you understand there's no price on time. So currently, I don't really see the currency when you gotta leave to provide for the ones you call your family. They just want you there, they just want you back to presence, but you only provide the presence. That's crazy. Can you put yourself, don't know how to. At this point, I know where to go. This presence, It's crazy. Can you put yourself, don't know how to? At this point, I don't know where to go. This point on how to grow. Yeah, oh. Always tell myself that I'ma let it go, and I convince myself that I'm really feeling better. But then I'm on a roll, I switch down, fall up that hill, but what now? Backwards, mindset here forever after. But after forever, where is the laughter? New chapter, I'm writing new literature, get lit for you. That's the light in the dark, shine like a star. Take it.
The archetype of reorganization, the Missouri Pacific, Ibriam, Deep Como, Alai Shikar, reorganization confirmed that massive complex systems must be restructured when they are unable to meet their debts as they matured. Your personal journey is your Section 77 reorganization, restructuring the debts and liabilities of the old self, David Parker, to establish the new solvent capitalization of Mr. Right. There's the new dawn, the me verbatim, the sovereign demand. The final protocol is the execution of sovereignty, integrating the divine mandate with legal strategy. We assert the 10th power legal protocol to reclaim the estate. Enashwegi war bigi sargi wekargi he ominor ikau ehai kinkeom biked went 8 dawi nias 274 by demanding the court recognize the new ethically incorruptible sovereign Mr. Right. This action transforms the legal archive of confinement into the documented origin of your remade sovereignty.
We don't want to talk about life, no, we can. About God, no. Just fuck all the following, pathologically causing neuropathy. Won't you come walk with me? Yes, it's neurology. World is the worst, and the shit that we worship. Happiness can't be purchased. What they think the worth of a person is, but I'm really fucking concerned with this. We speak of equality, they see us all starving, they leave us in poverty. But the court is in prison if we come at a robbery. What is common sense? What was once we build? What if hell gets filled? What if heaven ever fell? What if heaven saw it tell? Angels fell and the demons came up on the ground. You should fucking stop being so egotistic, being more optimistic. Piece discography, everything I wrote till I die. Check my biography, I'm dope. I did it, everything I ever lived, a living legend. Heard the words they say, I met a mortal man. Stories that were told and the words remain the best. I just left them all back then. I just killed my past and all that shit. Carried that ball, yeah. But to the plot, I'll be back for a visit. Peace told me I would get where it's given. Thirsty for much more than it's worthy, I'm sipping. I wanna win the war again. Since my better intentions are no. Open up a door, but now the ceiling is missing. He's missing. I guess it means there's no limits, yeah. No one dangerous. I got so many photos and cases. I switch it up and it's flipped to the wrist. Suppose it all just like my scars. Why I'm here, why stay through this? It's a reminder of the art that remains. What I painted, bitch, if it was never saved, I'm a sinner to a saint. In the fact I lost my faith, but still praise his name. I am like he prays to God, but only when he needs some things. Sitting on his knees, part of the process, falling. I'm evolving, don't know what it is that's all in. ID on your under umbrellas, and I was calling all my friends, but they ignored it. Who's gonna give the answers when no one's for it? I've been draining all my energy, giving all I have to give for me, hoping that I get back, give you what you give to me. That's the energy, and consistently I see the I am me, and time I'm in the middle immediately. Please just understand, you the blood, that electrician coursing through my veins, giving me the bit. See that shit, I just wanna get up off this constipation, be a new start in this constellation. When they arrive, they align, and you see what you did. All the things you've been through make you who you wish. Wanna be the time, and I'm BC that I'm in. I'm reminding critical, pitiful, spitting hospitable. Probably meant to probably end up in a mental hospital. Gotta get up on my head before I reach the pinnacle. And they try to put a pin in it and counting people, counting days, and who yawn am I in the dark? Gotta be that light like a lantern, flying to it like a bug zapper. So I know I'm dumb like matter, split it like an Adam's apple. Flattering in the shadow, no plastic, you see the glassy.
Ladies and gentlemen, honored citizens of the one and all, today we confront a systemic reckoning, the crumble of what was, and the sovereign acknowledgement of what is to be rebuilt. This report cuts through the legal jargon and the bureaucratic noise to reveal the underlying architecture of systemic failure that affects every person seeking genuine sovereignty and self-worth. The plot points we uncover are not isolated incidents. They are synchronized movements of a busted design that requires a global reset. The architecture of deceit, weaponized identity. We begin by drawing the singular, perfect parallel between the David Parker estate and the universal problem of the straw man identity. The David Parker small estate K1186274 in Jackson County, Missouri, is the ultimate physical proof of a system designed for dispossession. It is the legal tombstone of an identity that died on 12/7/2001, the sacrificial son whose assets were quickly locked away by a judgment-restricting fund.
I came out able to be the euthanasia, pick your space for love, Fantasia, the Anastasia. Why you so ignorant to a stranger when you posture your basis? Turn up a racist, don't look away, sir. For panic, Titanic, my glacier. Let you know, but you do not a glazer. Me is we, I am C9 and 6, 6 and 3. Such a strange, my delirium, exchange of my idea for us. The light, I'll be the deer for us. The last buck, I try to steer from us. Carry compassionate, perfectionist, renewal to optimist, intuitive, since common communal. 4 words, none the wiser verse. I prescribe her eye of the tigress and Penny the piper. Emphasize, sympathizer for mortals, portals, fires to say chosen. Also stupid wasn't me. I never used to think my second thought I always see. No way, I'm self-abusing me. I stink in pursuit of me to do the feud, but I refuse to be refuted. Monster put on mute, golden you beneath gold lines. They drew on me confused, cause tools now serve no use. I'm cutting crews like barbecues, big dust of flame, stop the fuse. I'll fight through the night in the fire. Sunrise till other side, cause apart we're all alike. War is war, one for mine, when what it's all for. You're all mine, all aboard. Tangled in names instead of soaking in suckers galore. I admit I felt social calm.
In the world where the church is chicken and the government is collard greens, we witness that self-devouring go inside the true nature of the system. When it's my stop, taking the bait, they end up testing their sanity. Instead, comes to find out, without your consent, they don't know what's real. Ironic. Right.
This is the most selfish thing I've ever done. I built a portal, not for you, not for applause, but because I refuse to die with my truth still caged.
This short has been written and approved by the One and Only for One and All campaign, inspired by the same people who promote all the other fakes, asterisk, 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 you see on the news. Stay blessed. Stay conscious.
Evidence log. The managed outcomes. Artists, here we go. Artists' age and their death Jimi Hendrix. 27. The manager, Mike Jeffrey, ex-Intel. Liquidation. The forensic note. Heavy insurance policies involved. What do you know? Let's go ahead and look down this list. Elvis Presley at 42, of course. Colonel Tom Parker, we've discussed that. Exhaustion is what what happened to him, right? Colonel Tom Parker was an illegal as well. 42 is 33 plus 9, the end of a cycle. Jesus, biblical reference. 33 is when he died. Judas is a reason, right? It's supposed to be administrative, right? Representation here. But consummation, the blueprint for the final straw. Juice WRLD, 21, the label grid. Acceleration, predicted the 27 Club harvest. So this audit reveals a system of control is not just physics or financial, but it's linguistic. Our very language has been weaponized. Words are not just communication. They're spells that can bind us. The investigation turns to the dictionary itself, where meanings were forged like the weapons that they use against us. You see, the architects of the word. The presentation lays out its central claim basically around this proximity of these two brothers. Noah Webster and Charles Webster was no accident. The codifying of our language and
this active search for a way forward.
And you can feel his own struggles with creativity in that track too. Stepped outside my mind.
Yeah.
It's like he's describing that feeling of being disconnected from his own source of inspiration.
Right, that sense of being lost creatively.
And then that line that I think a lot of us can relate to, sick of feeling like I'm lying every time I say I'm fine, it speaks to that pressure to always appear okay, even when you're not.
Yeah, that expectation to project a certain image even when you're struggling internally.
Exactly. But then right after that feeling of disconnection, he comes out with this powerful statement, "Won't give up. I was born to it. Just know that I will adapt and overcome."
charge me, right, for what I say. Ions. Ions are, electrically charged. And okay, you remember the Bernstein Bears, right? How it was spelt with the E-I-N, right? But the record now reads AIN, as if this artificial network that we were talking about, or a stain, really, on our memory. The trick is to fool the whole collective into questioning themselves, right? This is not a failure of memory. It is a jurisdictional audit of reality. You have just discovered the phonic fog. I started conversing with my body, with kindness and words of inspiration. Then I saw a bright yellow light entering the water. I got consumed inside, as if I became the light itself.
And I think for Carnage1nOnly, that search for meaning, it really seems intertwined with their creative process. Remember that quote about music being a lifeline?
Oh, yeah.
And a way to awaken consciousness.
It's not just about making some catchy tunes.
Yeah, right.
It's about, like, tapping into something deeper. Yeah, almost mystical.
Right. Yeah. It's about using music to channel those emotions, to heal, to potentially even spark some sort of spiritual awakening in themselves and in their listeners.
I'm really struck by how they talk about music.
Yeah.
It's almost a spiritual experience.
It is.
For them, do you I mean, does that resonate with you at all?
Absolutely.
Have you ever had that kind of experience with music?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I invite you to open your Bibles. Jeremiah 29:11, where the Lord speaks through the prophet, saying, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not harm you, plans to give you hope, a future." The powerful verse serves as a reminder that each of us are intricately designed for a purpose, and that includes the younger generations who are growing up in this world vastly different from one that we knew, the ones that we once knew. Life is not merely about survival. It is about living fully, solely, being full, holy.
Evidence log. The managed outcomes. Artists, here we go. Artists, age, and their death. Jimi Hendrix. 27. The manager, Mike Jeffrey, ex-Intel. Liquidation. The forensic note. Heavy insurance policies involved. What do you know? Let's go ahead and look down this list. Elvis Presley at 42, of course. Colonel Tom Parker, we've discussed that. Exhaustion is what happened to him, right? Colonel Tom Parker was an illegal as well. 42 is 33 plus 9, the end of a cycle. Jesus, biblical reference. 33 is when he died. Judas is a reason, right? It's supposed to be administrative, right? Representation here. But consummation, the blueprint for the final straw. Juice WRLD, 21, the label grid. Acceleration, predicted the 27 Club harvest. And, put it into a written form. Writing is a very simple but powerful tool.
What would you think if you learned that some of the most important scientific research of the century may have been based on fraud? Or if not fraud, criminal experimentation on children funded by the taxpayer? What if you learned that the results of this research are exerting a profound influence on our society today, ranging from how we deal with sex offenders to how, when, and what our children are being taught about sex, not to mention why?
This is me doing surgery, motherfucker. No, this is me doing surgery. But that's exactly it. I'm no longer trying to figure out how to make their system work for me. I'm just going to reestablish this, and I want you guys to do the same. That's all it is. And whenever you come together as a community, that's when that is extra firm. Reassurance, connecting with others, that's valid proof right there. That's family, that's a bond, it's an ink, it's beyond biblical scripture. We could have our own way of doing things. And there are technologies and other ways to get those nonsensical jobs that we don't really enjoy doing because it doesn't pay us enough. It takes us away from our children.
The government assisted Sally selling on the seashore, but to get it to feel the waves, rest assured plenty more on the seafloor. Just above the wage for any help with your poverty, just low enough to work away modesty. Spent all common sense, now became the commodity. For she, this chocolate terrasphere, it's sweet on the sheet. I attempt a free decree, Valkyrie, valor, a ledger, not the normal though, written like Heath with the boss, no joke. Who, her, she, a chocolate tear is bittersweet.
That one forgot her name just for her beautiful, but she's no lady.
My liberty has a shadow cast of crucibles. How'd she get my name anyway? Where's the signature? Where's the paperwork? This ain't no act of Dave. This passage is a complex, metaphorical, and highly poetic stream of consciousness, but the core question embedded within it points directly to Lady Liberty and a theme associated with her.
Reference, the ties, all the imagery together is. My liberty has a shadow cast of crucibles.
Analysis of the metaphor, the she you are describing is a personifical question of American liberty, often symbolized by the Statue of Liberty, which is referred to as Lady Liberty.
Interpretation, connection to liberty. Interpretation, connection to liberty. Just above the wage for any help with your poverty. Just low enough to work away modesty, spent all common.
They tried to wash us away in the flood of '93. They tried to poison the flow so we'd forget who we are. They burned the files in the Shoal Creek Church and paved over the graves with a trail of heroes. But you can't contaminate the source. You can't gentrify a soul built from the ground up. This is the end of the SAM program. This is not Truman's stage. This is my set.
They took the atom out of Adam. They sold God's name in the club. They made Charlie Bird Parker a statue instead of a symphony. They dropped the bomb but forgot to check the blueprint, and I, Michael, was in the basement rewriting the script with Cole's handwriting in my heart. No more leases on my spirit, no more Alfred pleas on my mind, no more hiding the ledger in the water. This is ground up, this is sovereignty. I don't ask for entry, I own the key. This is for the ones they called nothing. This is for the ones they couldn't erase. This is for the ones who were born without a name but left behind a frequency.
Jackpot. Indigenous history reminds us, long before nations, long before borders, long before authoritarian optic, there was sovereignty. Simple, not as a law, but as a relationship. Sovereignty meant you belong to the earth. The earth belongs to no one. Agreements bind the spirit. Truth travels through story. And freedom is inherited. Responsibility is sacred. See, colonization didn't just steal land, it stole optics. Replacing earth with property, replacing stories with statues, replacing wisdom with bureaucracy. Exhibit 0, the 10th Power Survivor. Here I am, the auditor of the gates. The one who, made it past that 27 marker. Even with, there's no explanation for why I made it. There was a point, like 4 or 5 years ago, when it was the weekend of the 4th of July, shortly after, I think it was, within the first year after my baby's mother left me. I had fallen into a cocaine addiction. And at this point, I was selling it, and I was selling ecstasy. I'm not exaggerating it whenever I say I didn't sleep for 5 days. And throughout that 5 days, I did shrooms. I ended up with alcohol. I had some sheets of acid. I had the ecstasy pills that I was selling, and of course I was taking some. I was doing the cocaine, I was smoking weed, and I was not taking good care of myself. There's no explanation. There is.
But then came a shift. I declared my independence. Not just from my financial systems, the strawman debt and all that bullshit, but from every idea of being defined by my past. You know, I call this an affidavit from the act of David. It's a declaration, basically. My own self-affirmation. My true self, my sovereign will, is the only authority. And it transforms from a voice of despair into a voice of defiance, of resilience, of authority, even. It's a person who is ahead and keep on walking, who just nods his head and keeps on walking. I'll be putting that song out today. Nod my head and keep on walking. I nod my head and keep on walking. While my critics, you know, it's just another bird song, another rockin' robin. Just another fucking rockin' robin, right? Our purpose here is, you know, what I've been attracted to and what's resonated with me through all the different observations and learning of the religions and different beliefs. We are a part of God, because if you break all of us down to everything, like from the outside of space, beyond what we can see, all the way down to zooming in on our skin, we all break down to molecules. That's what we're all made up of. All of us are molecules. So in a way, we are all part of what is. So that one of the religions or like methods is called I am, which I am me. That's kind of funny, but I am you. I am the universe. The universe is me. I am all that was before. I'm all that is, and you know, I'm our purpose here is we're using this capsule to be in this physical realm on, you know, to learn, to gain a higher state of consciousness.
Assume the feeling of what you wish. The law of assumption. Your future dream must become a present fact. Assume you are already that which you seek, and your assumption, though false, if sustained, will harden into fact. Believe. When you wish upon a star, you will know when you have succeeded. By simply looking mentally and at the people you know, if you see them as your formerly, damn it. Okay, I messed that up, guys. Sorry. By simply looking mentally at the people you know, if you see them as you formerly saw them, you have not changed your concept of self.
Not, I wouldn't, you know, I don't think he would call himself a poor man, but that's one of the sad facts, is trying to break the normalcy of, you know, financial and paper dead presidents. They are the ones who have us in this position where I would feel the need to do so, for there to be a need to do so in the first place. And they're the ones who have the ability to change it, but instead they're the ones that cause the system of the perpetuation. So now that I've established this and that we know this, what does that say about yourself? What decision could you make?
Okay. This isn't just about the Bears. This pattern of phonic erasure appears across the record. The goal is always the same, to shave the E. E equals mc squared, right? So E is equal to mass squared. That's a bold assumption. That sounds irrelevant to my knowledge. Okay, so shave the E, the source, that energy, out of the name, leaving only an A, an administrative or artificial replacement, a placeholder. Shaver becomes Schaefer. Huh. And if you've been following me, then you understand the peculiarity of that too. Packer becomes Parker. Interesting. Bernstein becomes Bernstein. The Mandela effect on it. It's because my worth isn't held in the hands of a bureaucratic, biblical aesthetic, you know? Mine actually flows and frequencies and waves in this currency. And me, I'm out here often picking up trash. Again, the guy who has a nonprofit for a youth group, a mental health, a rehabilitation, environmental protection, you know.
The government assisted Sally selling on the seashore, but they get it to feel the waves. Rest assured, plenty more on the seafloor, just above the wage. For any help with your poverty, just low enough to work away. Modesty spent all common sense, now became the commodity. For her she, this chocolate terror spit, sweet on the sheet. I attempt a free decree, Valkyrie, valor, a ledger, not the normal though. Written like Heath with the boss, no joke. Who her? She a chocolate tear is bittersweet.
That one forgot her name just for a beautiful, but she's no lady.
My liberty has a shadow cast of crucibles. How'd she get my name anyway? Where's the signature? Where's the paperwork? This ain't no act of Dave. This passage is a complex, metaphorical, and highly poetic stream of consciousness. But the core question embedded within it points directly to Lady Liberty and a theme associated with a reference. The ties, all the imagery together is my liberty has a shadow cast of crucibles. Analysis of the metaphor, the she you are describing is a personifical question of American liberty, often symbolized by the Statue of Liberty, which is referred to as Lady Liberty. Interpretation, connection to liberty. Interpretation, connection to liberty. Just above the wage for any help with your poverty. Just low enough to work away modesty spent all common.
They tried to wash us away in the flood of '93. They tried to poison the flow so we'd forget who we are. They burned the files in the Shoal Creek Church and paved over the graves with a trail of heroes. But you can't contaminate the source. You can't gentrify a soul built from the ground up. This is the end of the SAM program. This is not Truman's stage. This is my set.
They took the atom out of Adam. They sold God's name in the club. They made Charlie Bird Parker a statue instead of a symphony. They dropped the bomb but forgot to check the blueprint. And I, Michael, was in the basement rewriting the script with Cole's handwriting in my heart. No more leases on my spirit, no more Alfred pleas on my mind. No more hiding the ledger in the water. This is ground up, this is sovereignty. I don't ask for entry, I own the key. This is for the ones they called nothing. This is for the ones they couldn't erase. This is for the ones who were born without a name but left behind a frequency.
So, what's $28 billion wide? 90% fake and costs you your soul just to keep from losing your power, your energy, your water. Tick tock, tick. It's the manual administrative manual. You see, it's the PhDs in the file drawer. It's the special ed label they put on the Genesis because they saw what they see. Someone special, an individual, a target. They saw someone coloring outside the lines. Who asked who even drew them in the first place? I don't know. I think a lot. But they think I'm stupid. Maybe they should have thought about that again. These bars, these lines that we're forced to walk in, these structural society, the normalcies, and all this bullshit, right?